I'm going. Oh God, this is okay. All right. We will be. I'm gonna give it about another 5 minutes or so. See how many people come into the chat, and I will start after that, like 6:05, 6:10, somewhere around there. Um, so just give us a second, or give me a second, and I'll be coming on soon. Oh, look at that. Stuff in the back. Let me see. Uh, there we go. So yeah, so we'll be starting in like 6:05, and 6:05, like 6:10-ish, somewhere around there. Um, so I'm just trying to get everything straight and ready to go. It won't be too long of a stream today, I don't think. But knowing me, usually I last a full hour or so. Oh damn, we got 4 people. Holy shit. But yeah, so we're gonna be starting around about 6:05, 6:10, somewhere around there. Um, so if uh, so we just got a few things of news. Um, oh hey, that high was really it was uppercase. Ah, need to move my computer a little bit. Been watching so much great things. I got some of that stuff in my head. going, but don't. Okay. All right. So, um, let me just see what go. Oh, it's James's birthday today. Oh, the heck? Oh, oh, I love that heart. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so looks like we've looks like some viewers there. Um, there's, so let me all right. So I was not at 6:10, but I was gonna keep going. Um, so this will be recorded a little later after the stream's done. Um, so okay. Hello, my name is Colette. I am the treasurer, sorry, the treasurer and the social media coordinator for Strive. We're socially trans initiative. So we trans activist group here in um, Pensacola, Florida, and it's so you don't know what it is, like Mobile, Alabama. It's like next to so the part of Florida that people don't really know that well, but compared to the Central and South Florida uh, compartments or the compassionate people. All right. Um, yeah, we are yeah, activist group here, here in Florida, Florida. Try to do is try to uh, for transgender community here in our part of the state, but all over if we and also just the Gulf Coast in general as well. We do have connections in New Orleans, and we try to make some connections in Mississippi and Alabama as well, especially our local Alabama people. We know some of them over there, so there as well. So we try to work with them. Um, so um, so yeah, so we have a few items and issues to go over, but first, if you do visit the live stream, it will be recorded. Um, and what's going on there? That is weird. Hold on, sorry. Trying to check that. Okay. Anyway, so we have what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so we have just like this is recorded. So if you do watch, I think Twitch will have it up for 2 weeks. Try to do well. You can put a strip stream on Twitter, and so like, I'm leaning. There we go. So you can put a live stream on Twitter, or I'm sorry, YouTube, and I'm gonna try to get it on there. People who missed it be there as well. Um, and, like if you a lot of people on the stage is on Facebook, but you use Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter. Um, two strongest. Um, better. Um, and so if you want to catch what events we're about to do on the or just anything like that, we we're on one of those platforms. Other than that, some items tonight. Just I got two stories on two different states that are and what's going on with over there, and those states like Tennessee and also Minnesota. And then I'm going to go over some current Strive has done, um, done recently, and also things that we're going to plan for the future. So let's just get started. Um, and like I said, this will be recorded. We'll go back over it. It's on YouTube, the YouTube people. Please subscribe and like our team and follow us on all forms, and um, just continue following us and just continue to put the word out there for our um, for our city and just for our part of the country, especially now what's been going on transgender rights in our state, so or in our part of the country, especially the South. So let me go over the first story here. So the first story we're going to talk about the Tennessee that has banned public drag performances from um, so in our state we've seen in Florida we have seen a lot of issues with like the rights and horse pills and things like that. But for but for uh but for us and for Tennessee they took it a bit further um with this new law that has banned uh, has been drag performances, public drag performances. So eh, we've got a new level of just okay, I'm just trying to check and see if my sound will work on anyway. So we've gone to a new level of just a new level of um, just another level. I don't even know how to say it because that stuff was banned back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s. If you have read books by Weinberg, in that book, they specifically talk about you know bars and queer bars and had the police come in, and once they found out what was happening, he would immediately come in. Anybody that didn't have the article clothing that corresponded with their gender, their assigned birth, they arrested it. And then the police would have their way with them in the prisons and stuff like that. And it's a little bit too much. But with these types of bills kind of into that, going back into that type of world. And so I know for all the old queer and trans heads, all the old, this is something they had to grow up with. We if you're millennial or Gen Z, this is this is something new too. Because like usually drag shows when we're growing up, it was under like previously you started to see drag shows get out a bit more. You got TV shows now, RuPaul shows that promote drag performances and stuff. And, heck, um we we just had a show that was part of the big show drag show. So these are things that I think a lot of times and how the country or how our country are certain instances of things that are affecting people's very finances as well, because a lot of drag performers do make good coin but about a lot of their money off of these drag shows and drag shows in general are just is a staple for their trans community for decades. And so but yeah, let's go. Um, so it says trans ban, sorry. bans public drag performances and gender affirming care for minors. The ban is the first of its kind in the country to be signed into law. Um, so just go a little bit, like yeah, updated. So this is about a week ago. Um, Friday, March 2nd, as a governor bill Tennessee's ban on gender-related care for minors into law on Thursday, alongside a ban on public performances. Tennessee was the seventh state to pass such a ban on care, and the first ever state to pass a ban on drag. Of course, the eighth for not receiving care as of July 1st, 2023, will not be able to receive care in Tennessee. Those who are already receiving it by that date will lose access after March 31st, 2024. Um, so yeah, that's another thing. State has also ended. Um, and then also our state is also nullified. And people like, oh, we're going to protect kids, but then with our state of Florida, they've um Medicaid for trans folks, for trans people to get any sort of health care. And so like, it's not just adults, it's just kids, it's adults. I think it was Oklahoma too that was not allowed trans and 20, got to be like 20, you got to be a little above 25 years old, which I'm like, okay, so we're trying to protect kids by protecting adults as well, who autonomy for themselves, uh, the parents. So, oh my bad. So yeah, just trying to do that. So let's go back to the so advocates in the healthcare ban the legal ACLU of Tennessee, stating that the ban represents the choice of fear mongering representation in politics over the rights of families and the lives of transgender youth in Tennessee. Exactly. Let's see. A press release that all three organizations have promised action against Tennessee law, and that similar laws in Alabama, Arkansas, or Kansas, I get those two. Some people will say Arkansas. Anyway, so have been blocked by the federal courts. And it says, we are dedicated to the overturning of this unconstitutional and are confident the state will find itself completely incapable of defending the court. The organized world. We want the youth to know that they're not alone. Oh, excuse me. So they're gonna. It's the two bills we're being passed is so for those who know people in Tennessee, it is Senate Bill 3 and it's compatible with Bill 9. Cabaret performances, including male, female, and impersonators, from taking place in public auction where the performance can be viewed by a minor. The violation of the law will be Class A misdemeanor, which carries a sentence up to 11 months and 29 days in prison, or $500. Subsequent violations would be classified as punishable by up to 6 years in prison and a fine of $1,000. So you see, like how, like you're seeing like how much just Tennessee is always Tennessee and Florida have always been kind of two states where they have just gone really in on our communities, and um, I really honestly am just so upset with the fact that they are just basically going to be harming trans people, putting them back, putting the Tennessee just back 50 years at this point. I mean, saying that Florida is not any better, but like even I mean, we don't know drag shows, and it's just like I don't. It's honestly, um, but it is where like actively economically the trans community, the queer trans community, And the article I'm going to get to that's going to actually, I could just basically go back. So this one talks about organizations and the, that are fighting back against that legislation. And um, so I'm using, and in the magazine, the articles I'm using is from them magazine. I just want to pause and say that, just because they really have really good grasp on. Hold on, just they really have a grasp on. They really have a good overall way of telling the article and stuff like that. Usually, if you go to like CNN, or not to say they don't try. It's just they don't do the article, and you can tell the articles like somebody who just picked it up on it, like the story like last week. Like, I just need to write about it. But people who are in the community, who are understanding who are queer and trans themselves, who can write articles, make sure that you get out, the community feels on the subject. So, but yeah, so you want to read more on these articles, them .us, and just put in the magazine into Google. So, um, this one I didn't look over. I just found this one, so we're gonna be kind of going over it together. Let me check the chat. Anybody? Okay. Trying to check the chat. Yes. Um. So yeah. So we have another articles like six articles fighting against the legislation in Tennessee and beyond. If you're looking to give, here's a place to start. Because what I want to start to do is tell these stories, or talk about these articles, but also give people ways, and that's what Strive to give people ways to fight back um, through donations and just other organizations that we can promote and we can help that are fighting, because we, especially in the South, we want to all try to be connected and try to fight for. So if they're going to do something, we're fighting for them. We're going to do something, fighting for us. And so I want to give these organizations a shout out. Um, so let's go to this article. So, so let's see if I can enlarge it for y'all a little bit. 150. So it says Tennessee has two sweeping bans aimed squarely at transgender people offering gender affirming care that promises to medically detransition youth in the state and a quote unquote male and female impersonators. The first such drag ban in the country to pass such a state legislature. And while getting a on to support Bill Lee's own high school dress shenanigans, which I didn't know about that. The reality is that in an increasingly dark and frightening time for trans people in the southern United States and beyond, with over 385 anti-LGBT state legislatures this year alone. With CIS allies search organizations to support their money often ends up in the same handful of LGBTQ plus nonprofits rather than being sent directly to communities that are most affected by the anti-trans crisis. Okay, so let's, here's the first one. You have Out Memphis, one of the oldest LGBTQ plus community centers in the South. Memphis has a long history of uh, providing direct aid and support programs to the queer and trans people in Tennessee. Regular events at the center's main facility include free HIV testing, trans ID workshops, financial aid, name changes, community support, social groups for both teens and adults. The organization also runs mental project emergency support and transitional housing to the LGBTQ plus. My God, that is amazing. Like for Strive, I think that is sort of the level we want to get to. We do the name change seminar. Um, we did have did have Devin one time was working at HIV scene agency. I've been kind of cool with that. I do workshops, um, help with daily bills, support social groups, institutions here that kind of do that here and there, but we don't have like a one encompassing place that does that. That'd be really cool. Um, so I'm gonna, let me see if I can. Oh, let me see if I can look them up real quick so I can put them in that. Just you know, a couple minutes. Yeah, there goes the site. Why can't I put? Can't copy and paste. All right, that's fine. Just it just looks like this. So out Memphis, really good. They, I mean, they're doing amazing stuff. So, watch them up, and then, so you got friends there in Empowerment Project, founded in 2016 Tennessee by Tennessee and trans man Jack Knoxville. The Trans Empowerment Project is a community aid group that focuses efforts on disabled, queer, and trans people of color. Now headquartered in North Carolina, TEP programs include Inmate Advocacy Project, advocate for incarcerated LGBTQ plus people, and the Trans Employee Project, which aims to help trans people find places in transition. Organizations direct funds to provide HRT assistance, clothing, and emergency food. So, kind of what we do as well, especially the last part, they provide assistance, clothing, emergency food, and transportation. Um, so we do some of that as well, but we have a huge net of that. And let me just show you the site. So so you have the uh, Empowerment Project, reason that is. So you have that going. These are all organizations that we can donate to that can directly help the situation as it happening. Let's go over the next one. The campaign for the CSE burst onto the LGBTQ community in 2011 with the We Do campaign, which during hundreds of LGBTQ plus couples across the South requesting marriage licenses in their hometowns to protest state laws banning marriage. Prior to the Supreme Court decision in Over, Over and Hodges, which declared such bans unconstitutional across the U.S. CSE successfully helped sue the governments of North Carolina and Mississippi to strike down marriage bans in those states. Today, the CSE maintains vital the South Resource Guide and the Southern Equality Fund, which provides grant money and training to local LGBT leaders and activists. And CSE joined the Georgia Equality and the Transgender Legal Defense TLDEF. The state of Georgia for gender affirming care from the benefit plan. So that's another one. Uh, just campaign for Southern. So like, I mean, you can see like we have all these like groups here willing to fight. We need, um, they're here. We've always been here. We always have groups that are willing to fight down here, and so it's just proud for me. It just shows us that like alone, are not like the only ones in this area. Like, I know we weren't, but like you just kind of get that bit of like, but there's some groups that are the same, fighting the same things we are. Jarring the computer. Trying, then you have a lot of this one, the Transgender Law Center, and the Transgender Law Center is deeply involved with a host of legal battles for trans rights across the country, across the U.S. in 2020. TLC sued against a group of private prisoners for gross negligence in the death of Roxana Hernandez, a Honduran transgender woman who died in ICE asylum. This case is still ongoing. TLC also represented trans teen Ash Whitaker, which a landmark case that trans youth and protections. So, you got that. Let me keep going. Sorry, but TLC's mission goes well beyond legal representation alone. The organization's trans agenda for liberation envisions the better conditions for trans and gender diverse people, with community developed platforms for Black and Indigenous liberation, freedom of autonomy and medical care, and sex workers' rights. This week, TLC also announced the formation of a new trans health legal fund. Alongside the reproductive health, organizers say the new fund will provide economic resources and support for people facing investigation, arrest, or persecution for seeking gender affirming healthcare. So, yeah, the transgender law centers, they have, they have done work. So let me show you that website. Uh, and all these places have like Facebooks and Twitters and um, and Instagram. So you go on there, see what they're doing to help, donate to them, and or if you are in those areas or if you know people in those areas, it'd be also great to like, give them some, just let them know that they probably can volunteer for some of these groups. So yeah, this is the Transgender Center. Um, yeah, they have contact us, you can subscribe and everything. Um, so yeah, let's go to the next group. So we have Trans Justice Funding Project. Um, still not sure where you want to do. Let trans folks decide for you. The Trans Justice Funding Project collects and distributes aid directly to hundreds of other grassroots and trans-led organizations across the U.S., include uh, Vitaly. I'm gonna say yeah, Vitaly. If someone pronounces that correctly, that's fine. And TGFP takes no strings attached approach to emphasizing that local activists and Advocacy groups are the best position to understand the community's needs and how best to allocate those resources. I actually might message them myself actually, so we can get our group Strive on here for the trans funding project, trans justice funding project. Um, most of the groups in TJF funds are small or newly established and don't have the infrastructure for sponsorship to become their own 510c3. That's all I could mention as well. This is actually really bad. I think I'm probably going to keep this up and probably look this up later than tonight, because one thing about Strive, we're not a 510c3. We're a smaller group that takes donations from the people. So like when we do fish that, but we don't directly, we're not a big enough group to do that. And then on top of our 501c3, um, you do have some, and I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, you do have some barriers. You can't say what you can and can't do, because if you're five, you're under, you're getting government funds, they're not going to you to be going out, you know, doing probably things against capitalism or doing things, like you could probably build people, but it has to be connected to like electoral politics. You can't just be like, let's just do direct action, let's go, stuff like that, because that may make lack of funding because you are directly going against the government that's giving you the money. You know what I mean? So I might be wrong, but that's another reason why we are not looking to you know we're not looking to do the 501c3. Um, but this is really well. Like I said, I probably keep this website up to try to include us in them to see if we can do something like if we can get extra funding from a group like that. That'd be great. Anyway, so because of that, the direct donations to TJFP aren't tax deductible. The causes that they fund any less worthy of financial support. TJFP has inception in 2012. Uh, yeah, so that's the one, and then let me look at it's transgender justice for the yeah, they have an apply part up here. Okay, so the transgender justice funding project. Um, it looks like they help and give out funds and stuff like that. So obviously, like we said before, um, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this one up. So can maybe get a grant from them, get like, are you a grant trans justice group run for trans people? Is your budget less than $25,000, $250,000 a year? So yeah, this is really good. The application closed, but unfortunately, when it comes back up, I'm going to try to apply for it. Um, but yeah, so if we can get sort of funding like that, that'd be great. So that's them. And the last that you can help support is the trans. Far, if you've read this far down the page, you're probably queer journalism. And what it was to the Transformations Project, a group of trans researchers, writers, and activists who maintain a comprehensive of current anti-trans legislation and compiled a weekly of victories, losses, and updates. We've begun syndicating this past month on them to supplement our own legislation, and look forward to partnering with them as long as their work remains necessary. So this is and also another good place to probably get your news and that. So let's look them up real quick. Um, yeah, it's just So yeah, this is a transformation project site. So you have this as well. They like I said, they're writing articles. So we have all these trans groups that are in the South, and I know there's plenty more. I know there's one in New Orleans. You do have the House of Tulip in New Orleans. Um, but that's obviously not what we're talking about here. But like, that's not also like about it, but that's not like they're not in Tennessee or not near. But I'm sure they may be doing something to help as well. I'm sure there's many other trans groups that are either if not in the state of Tennessee or around the state of Tennessee can help if they can. I mean, if they asked us the thing, or if we knew any other activists in Tennessee that could help as well. Um, so yeah, so we um, those are the six organizations, and like I said, I wanted to not just giving you doom and gloom news, um, but it has to be done because make sure that it's realistic to what's happening, and letting people know that like this is happening to our community. At the same time, I do want to give you ways you can fight back, um, and ways you can donate and give to other organizations that are in the midst of the fight, um, in Tennessee in this case, that need our help. And so, we're all a community here. We all love each other. We all, want to try to just see the best for each other. And these times are not just social, but they're also economical because, a young kid who's not able to get medical care to help them understand who they are, either through therapy or the beginnings of being able to talk with a doctor and an endocrinologist. That is going to affect their mental health down the line, which is going to cost them more money to get help later on. They can get help now, uh, and for the community, a bill like this also affects their money. A lot of tips and you know, a lot of just being able to just express yourself. Just being able to be a drag performer and express yourself on stage, um, and live out that type of expression. It's hurtful not being able to get that out with drag performers. They work regular jobs, and most majority of them do. They work regular jobs they probably don't want to work, that are not, that are not, probably giving them any sort of financial or not financial. Well, yeah, financial backing them. Maybe they're working minimum wage. Maybe they're working a career job, but the career job's not giving them any upward mobility, any promotions or anything like that, or just a trade job or anything that's not helping them at all. And so, going to do as a release of being able to being able to express yourself and being able to have that moment of a happiness to be able to fully have that release of expressing yourself from the a week of work that might have been terrible. You um, and then for the community in general to be able to come together for drag shows, to be able to celebrate our community and at the same time to just have a better just better camaraderie and connections as well. A lot of times when the trans community comes together during drag shows, um, there's a lot of connections that are made. A lot of cis people come out, as well. Cis and straight people come out to these events, and they are better understand the queer and trans community through these drag shows. So it's not only the fact that they're trying to stop uh, the queer and trans community from being able to have access to healthcare, but it's also affecting cis and straight people who want to maybe understand more about the queer and trans community through drag shows and through just events like that, like drag brunch, or when drag story times, and also parents of queer and trans kids who want to figure out more about their child and want to help their child. I, we do get often stories about parents being, mistreated to their child and being their child's bully when they come out and treat them ugly. But there's also parents, especially, and I don't want to might split the generations here, but like, millennial parents, latter half of Gen X parents, and maybe Gen Z parents who are like, yo, I have these kids and my kids is coming out as trans and I want to help them. I want to get them what they need. Now I can't do that because so, and it brings the community together. And so like brings the family together. And so that really is something that I think people need to understand. It doesn't just affect the queer and trans community with these bills. It also affects the not just the marginalized, it also affects the bigger community at large, and not being able to understand, which causes splits to happen, and it causes one side to the other, and so which is what they want, and so they continue to make their money, continue to have the life that they feel comfortable in. And so, because this is really what it's about. It's about them feeling comfortable living the life they've quote unquote been living, um, without any sort of interruptions or anything. We want to keep this quote unquote white supremacist standard of men and women do this and then that's it, right? And no variant in between. So that is just something to, I think, for a lot of people to understand. Let me see. I did not put any other tags except for that one. So so I'm gonna get to this last story, and then I'll just let you know what Strive is doing, or what Strive has done, and what we're going to do. Just trying to check the chat if there's any other messages in there. Um, Let me check. Okay, so this last story is a kind of the opposite of what we were talking about. It's a positive story. So we have Cascade. No. All right, so anyway, these little ads. Um, so, oops, my bad. I was trying to. Okay, there we go. So I was just trying to make sure with my. I'm always trying to make sure when I look at my phone that the I can still hear myself and everything. So, this story is Minnesota's governor just made the state a refuge for gender affirming care. Tim Walz's order prohibits the state from helping other states persecute workers seeking transition care. So in America, I think there's only, I wish I'd have brought up statistics, but I might be wrong. I think there's only like about 10 states that will, keep your, will not, let a kid that's moving from another state be persecuted for having gender affirming care. I know California, Oregon, I want to say Washington State, I want to say Colorado, I think New York. There's a few others, but they're on the coast for most of them. And I think Minnesota obviously is a Midwestern state. Good for them, really good for them. Um, this is amazing. So Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has signed an executive order to make the state a refuge for trans people who are fleeing their homes in order to seek life-saving transition-related care. The governor signed Executive Order 23-03 on Wednesday. Let me see what Wednesday was. So March. So he just did it this Wednesday. Um, it orders agencies to protect seeking affirming healthcare in Minnesota, as well as the entities that provide it. State agencies also specifically forbidden to provide information or assist investigations to penalize trans people and their allies for seeking transition care. From other states that terminate parental rights because the child with transition related care will not be recognized by the state of Minnesota. And the state will also refuse to comply with a subpoena that seek information about trans people who travel to obtain care. So yeah, so I think, like I said, I think it was there was a case that happened in Nevada or Utah where I was in Nevada where a mother and their trans child, they said were because Nevada had, I think, banned it. They banned child care for trans people, and they had moved here. And I think it was Utah or Nevada. They were trying to like get a subpoena on the parent to like the rights of the parent, but then like California was like, no, knocking that straight on. And we're not letting you know where they are. We're not letting you know where they went. We're not, and so it's really, really nice to see states protect their citizens from that type of action. So um, let's just continue. Uh, uh, the executive order tasks the Minnesota Department of Health (MDH) with preparing summarizes the literature on the safety and effectiveness of care to be presented to the governor, lieutenant governor, and legislature by the end of the year. The order also strengthens protections, insurance coverage of transition related care, and mandates MDH, which is the Minnesota Department of Health, to refuse to approve the HMO contracts that discriminate against basis of sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. So let's see. No, 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 no. So the report will be 15 days from the date of publication. It comes alongside the bill HF 146 that will enshrine the same Minnesota state law. Introduced by Representative Lee Fink, the state out trans uh, legislator likely pass the House in the coming weeks. But Governor Walz told PBS that related attacks on trans rights in other states made the need for such protections more urgent. And a quote from him: "Families, uh, families who have fled are already here, and many more plan to come." Think reformer. Oh, the legislator, the Fink. I thought it was from the. Um, we're going to we're going to be ready to take care of them and provide them the health care they need. Um, Yeah, so and here comes Florida right here. The executive order comes days after Florida introduced a bill to allow the state to remove children from the parents' custody if they are receiving gender care. The provision of such care to minors fall under the definition of unjustifiable conduct and serious and quote unquote serious physical harm. Additionally, courts have the right to modify custody agreements in other states in order to protect uh, children from the risk keep on doing it of being provided with transition related health care. A bill introduced in Ohio, okay, a bill introduced in Idaho, I'm sorry, last year, HB 675, would have made it a felony punishment life in prison to transport a child to another state in order to help that child obtain transition care. That bill passed the House, the Senate never brought it to a vote. That was another story from last year that we were just like, what in the helicopter? Life in prison for doing that for your child? Are you kidding? So, um, let me see if they name the state here. Yeah. So lawmakers in 19 states pledged in 2020 to introduce legislation that would establish their states as safe havens for trans fleeing their home to obtain care, with California being the first one to actually sign its bill to law. So yeah, so I guess I mean obviously electoral politics is a bit of a hard ask for a lot of people who feel just disenfranchised by it. Um, and I especially nationally, local and state just as hard, just as much bureaucracy, but it does help a little bit for local and state if you have people who are in there who are going to make your state a safe haven for, you know, to be able to give your kids care if need be. Um, but that also leaves the privilege as well to be able to get your kid out of the state and to get their state, in which case, or even get yourself out of the state and into a state where that you can be better cared for. But even with it doesn't mean that you can't be discriminated against in Minnesota or California or Oregon or state. I mean, it might be you might have a bit of time than being in the South, I'll say that, but as well, it is an issue. No matter where you face some sort of discrimination, but these bills do make it easier for those who can get out, um, and be able to, especially for parents and kids. That's the main thing, I think. And being able to um, get out and be able to go to states where they can be taken care of. Because, like I said in the last article for Tennessee, it's very difficult to go through life knowing who you are, but you have to continue to hide that. If you're autistic like me, you have to mask a lot, mask and like not not show who you are, and then you get used to doing that, and then it just becomes a snowball effect. So not being able to, like myself as well, being non-binary, fully express yourself, going through that as well, and so for these anybody who wants to get out of these states, I don't blame you. If you have connections and stuff like that, you know, you have to protect yourself, and I don't blame you. It's just kind of hard. Um, it's hard to it's hard to get a new life, but I don't blame you if you move to Minnesota or some of the states in the East Coast for your own protection, especially if you have people that live in those areas and they will help you. That's what the connections are all about, just for your own safety. So, um, and so with that, yeah. So with that, so so let me just go over some Strive news. And we're almost at, oh, we're not gonna make it. It's gonna be a short meeting and this a short live stream. We're already at 7 o'clock. But so yeah, so we have so we do have some things coming up. Before that, we did have um a what's it called? we had a we had a benefit show, March 3rd, I want to say. That was a Friday, right? Yes. We had a benefit show last Friday. Not the Friday just happened, but 2 Fridays ago, I guess, or March 3rd, whatever that Friday is. Okay. So it was great, it was amazing. We have raised was it 1,600? So we raised $1,600 for that event, and that's amazing. We're still shooting for 3,000. Hopefully we can get we're at 600 right now, and that's amazing. So we're over halfway already. And so we'll hopefully, with the next few events and things that we're going to do, hopefully we'll get some more donations, get to 3,000. And like I said, to helping out trans people with HRT, transportation, any sorts of medicines they need to buy. If we can help them with housing, just like a place to stay for the night, food, clothing, anything like that. We're really trying to um, make sure we have enough money in our bank so that when someone calls us about them needing something from us, we don't have to. I mean, it's not bad to have to do a ask for donations to help them out, but it would also be great for us to be like, hey, we have the money, hey, here's $50 for this, or here's, oh, I need medicine for I need medicine for my HRT. All right, how much is it? It's like, $50, because it's the vial for maybe the, estradiol, Valorant or something like that. Boom, we got you, or, hey, I'm struggling right now. I need some food. boom, here's like $20, or it's like, $40 for groceries. Get you at least a little bit, even though like I know eggs are going wild right now. I'm just People have told me, like, I've seen TikToks and stuff of people like, oh, my eggs are like seven, $8, $9. And I know gas is gone as well. So, or hey, I need like, a little bit of money to take an Uber today because I don't have, or my car broke down or something, you know. So we can try to help the trans community, the local trans community, and the coast as we can. Um, so that was great. Next Thursday will be the next Thursday will be we're gonna do a drag show on that day. Well, there's it's a drag. We're not doing it. It's gonna be all drag. It's gonna be at the Handlebar in downtown Pensacola. I forget what street the Handlebar is on. Let me look it up real quick for y'all. I think it's raining outside now. Hold on. It is on 319 North Tarragona Street. So, and then it will start. I think it starts at 7. I would just come at 7. Oops. Yeah, it starts at 7. So we um, it starts at 7. So we have that happening as well. So uh, and then we are still this Tuesday coming up. I'm sorry. This Tuesday, Strive will be at the movies. Devin, our Devin, they're going to be watching the movie. I'm not going to be there. I'll be at work, but it's called Bear. It's a movie called Cocaine Bear. Guess what? The bear actually does cocaine in the movie. It's one of those like can't over the top movies, but um, they will be there. Just us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Let us know if you want to go to the movie, and we'll give you the information and the time. But this Tuesday coming up, we got that. Thursday is the Control Alt Drag. Um, so that's going to be at the Handlebar. Like I said, it's going to be at 7 or 8. Um, and I think it's at 7. So we'll be there tabling for that. And then Wednesday we have meeting, which is going to be at End of the Line Cafe, um, which is downtown Pensacola again. So we'll be there having our usual like agenda meeting where we'll go over what we're trying to do and and all that. If you want to our email? Let me put our email on. So if you look us up on StrivePensacola at gmail.com, we can send you maybe, we're going to try to, maybe not this week, try sending people the agenda, what we're going to talk about, so people know what we're talking about before we are talking about it, so everyone's not like stunned in the meeting. But this meeting, 10, 15 people, which was really good, really sizable crowd, and it was amazing. So you can meet us there. And then other than that, I think we do have some. I'm trying to think if we have something. Um, we're thinking about doing a clothing drive, like a in April sometime. So we're gonna be asking for clothing donations here soon, and then we're gonna try to have a place where we can, might be the handlebar, it might be somewhere else, but we're gonna have places that, or have a place where people can come and clothes, especially for the queer and trans community. A lot of times, um, one of the first things that helps you feel more like yourself, having clothes, like clothes that fit more what you feel. And we're also looking into binders as well. But if anybody out there that watches this, if you have binders, or if you know someone who has binders, um, that's one of the major things, especially for a lot of trans men and trans mass, binary mass people, or anybody who just wants to wear a binder. Um, we often don't uh, we often don't a binder. We often People often ask us like, "Hey, you have binders? Do you have?" And we don't have it. So that's something we need as well for this clothing drive. So if you know if anybody has it, or if you have some yourself, let us know. And then we'll try our best to get it for them. We'll come get it for close for the donation drive. Other than that, we do like a few months down the line. There is Pensa Pride in June. I think it's like the second week of June. So watch out for information on that. The Pensa Pride organization kind of is connected with our organization as well. Uh, we have, uh, we'll get at that as well as it starts to come up. But other than that, if you want to donate to us, we have a Cash App, which is a Stripe Cola, our $ Stripe Pensacola, PayPal, which is just Stripe Pensacola 850. I'll just Stripe Cola Cash, and then just trying to see it. So yeah, so those the Stripe Pensacola and then PayPal is Stripe Pensacola 850. So you donate to that. You don't have to be $1, $5. It don't matter. We take anything. We have Patreon as well. I always forget about that. It's StrivePensacola on Patreon. We do have some tiers. It starts at $5 if you want to donate like a longer term, like month to month rather than just a splash here, splash there. We do have a Patreon. Once again, it's the StrivePensacola. Let me put that in. Um, okay. So yeah, so with all that being said, thank you all who came in and watched or came in and out. To the 3 viewers, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Just trying to do the Twitch thing rather than Facebook because there's a lot, a lot of younger people now who are like, oh no, we're not gonna, they're not on Facebook anymore. Like anybody else below the 35 is like, nah, that ain't about, or anybody under the age of 30, really. Uh, they're mostly like, nah, that we don't even do Facebook anymore. Most young, and I'm 37 myself, so I'm a kind of an older millennial. But um, yeah, so for a lot of Gen Z especially, they've just used Instagram, Twitter. That's something else I need to do as well is make ourselves a TikTok. Let's go from there, and also um talk with one of our Jonathan, one of our the person who set this website that you're seeing right now. Um, we have a Discord, but we really haven't anything up yet. Once we get that going, that'd be great for people to come and talk and then, have community building through that as well. So, but anyway, it's been over an hour already. Um, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you know, having you all on here, and hopefully this will record this time. I tried to make sure it was going to record after I end the stream, so I can post this on YouTube and then be able to, um, share it to the other. Um, anyway, thank you guys again, and I appreciate it. And let's keep fighting for these transgender. Let's keep fighting for transgender liberation and queer transgender rights and just making sure that the fight is not just social issues, but it's economic issues, and remembering that they're both intertwined, and we need to just remember that. So, anyway, thank you guys again. I really appreciate it, and y'all have a good night. Bye.